Okay guys, here we are. Welcome back to the channel and to another video on the Audi A3. This video is basically going to go through 5 things that I absolutely hate about this car. 5 things that just to me, I just think, why have you done that? What a strange thing to do. So we're going to run through all of them and yeah, hopefully you'll be able to relate. Tell me if you've got any of these pet peeves with your car down in the comments below. But before we get started, make sure you are clicking that subscribe button. We have just rocketed past 1,000 subscribers. We're well on our way now and the next goal is 10,000. So if you can make that happen, it'd be really appreciated. Click subscribe below and we'll get on with the video. Okay, so first thing I'm going to go into that really annoys me is the back of these cars. If you've got a 3-door or a 5-door, you get a completely different car effectively. Now, I am a big fan of a 3-door car. I do think that this looks quite nice. It's not a bad looking car at all for the money. And yeah, like I said, I am a fan of a 3-door, but I've got to admit, you guys and girls that have got a 5-door, I am a little bit envious. If I could have got this car in the same spec, in a 5-door, absolutely hands down, I would have done it. You basically get some real nice roof rails. You can get them in sort of like an aluminium, which has gone with the sort of theme that I'm going for with the wheels and also the mirrors. So yeah, you get some little roof rails that basically makes the car look like a mini estate. And then once you get to the back end, it is actually a completely different back end. The rear lights on a 5-door actually come into the boot as well, and you get some like sort of really nice LED rear lights that have got daytime running lights built in as well. So yeah, I really do like the rear lights. It's not a bad looking car, to be honest, but yeah, I've got to say, that is the first thing that really annoys me. Why is a 3-door and a 5-door a completely different rear end? Who knows? So while we're outside the car, I'm going to go through the second thing that really annoys me, and I don't know why this is a problem. Again, it's one of those things that I just think, why? Why have you made this a problem? But you guessed it, it is the roof channels. Now, this I think is going to be the same whether you've got a 3 or a 5-door. But if you can see here, the roof channels are basically non-existent, if you can see there. And the disadvantage of this is basically, if you like to keep your car clean or polished, waxed, sealed, whatever you want to do to your car, if you have ever got your window open and you set off or you go around a slight corner or something like that, basically all the water will just come straight off here and straight into your window, and you will get absolutely soaked. Your armrest will get soaked, all sort of your electric windows and everything will get soaked, and it is just really frustrating. It's never happened to me on any other car that I've owned, but for some reason this one is an issue. Very frustrating. You can sort of fix it with the fact that I've got wind deflectors, so that's sort of how I fixed it, but it is very annoying. If you do like your window open and you also like a clean car, for some reason you're going to get soaked for that. What a forfeit. Okay, so like always in England, it has started raining. Even though we are now into the middle of May, it has started raining outside for some reason. Very annoying, but that is fine because we've done the little bits on the outside that annoy me. We can bring it inside and I can talk you through some of the things inside the cabin that also just don't make sense. So the first thing is the location of the handbrake, okay? The handbrake is something you use all the time. Some people would argue that if you've got an automatic car, you don't use a handbrake, but to be honest, I do anyway, but irrelevant. This is the same in a manual and an automatic car, and the third thing that really annoys me about this car is the handbrake location. Now, I don't know if you can see here, but effectively, it is underneath the armrest. Underneath. Why on earth would you put a handbrake underneath an armrest? It just makes no sense whatsoever. If I show you it off there, okay, if you've got your armrest down like that, you're just sort of driving along, whatnot, you pull up. Basically, if you don't have an extra tight handbrake, okay, if your handbrake isn't literally on the first click or whatnot, it instantly just hits your armrest. Now, don't get me wrong, I love having an armrest. I am an absolute sucker for an armrest. You know, you've got one here, you've got one here, you're driving along, it's a nice place to be. But I don't think you should compromise a handbrake for your armrest for some reason. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm sure this is the same, like I said, for a manual or an automatic, but that just seems so unbelievably daft to me. And the thing is, not only that, but if you do have a handbrake that needs tightening up or it goes up sort of that much, not only is that a stupid location, it also means that when you release your handbrake, your armrest is locked into that position, and the only way that you can get around that is by putting it all the way up and then all the way down again to get into the position that you had before. So it's just completely pointless. I'm quite thankful I've got an automatic, and it means that I don't have to completely rely on my handbrake, but I imagine that if I did in a manual car, that would really annoy me, especially seeing as most people's, I'm lucky in this case, but most people's armrests, this little latch has completely broken. So actually, when you tip that up to reset it, everything falls out the back. So yeah, that's the third thing that really annoys me about an Audi A3 8P. So the fourth thing that really frustrates me about this car, not only the handbrake, not only the rear end, not only the roof rails, is the reverse parking sensors. Now, this might be exactly the same if you've got front and rear. I have only got rear, so that's when it affects me. But again, every other car I've ever owned with parking sensors, okay, when you've got music on, it will dip the volume. As soon as you put it in reverse, okay, as soon as you put it in reverse, all your music is going to get completely dipped so you can hear the parking sensors, which, you know, you might think, yeah, that's logical, what a great idea. Exactly. So why didn't Audi do that? Why on this A3, when I put it into reverse, okay, and don't forget, sometimes your steering wheel isn't straight. It's got steering wheel controls, so that's where my volume button is. So, you know, that's fine if you're reversing completely straight backwards. You can just turn it down on the steering wheel and keep on going. But if you're turning at the same time as reversing, all of a sudden, you know, your volume button is somewhere else, and it's also upside down, okay? So it just makes it really awkward that you've got to sort of manually turn your volume down before you start reversing. I don't understand why they've done that. This might be, drop in the comments below if this is something that you can change with like Carista or any of the little VCDS things like that. Is this something you can change? Because I think that would be a really good thing to sort of code in or whatnot. Oh, saying that, this could just be my car. My car might just be broken. Let me know in the comments. Does that annoy you as well? Does your car do it? Or does the volume all just drop when your parking sensors come on? Because mine doesn't, and yeah, it really annoys me. Okay, so the last thing that really annoys me is on the outside of the car, and hopefully you'll be able to hear it over the engine ticking away like a taxi. But the last thing that really annoys me is these headlights. I don't know if you can see the little DRLs flashing away, okay, but my car's equipped with the sort of bi-xenon headlights and also the DRLs. Now, if you get the DRLs, which to be honest, on a 2010 car is quite a nice little touch. They're not bad, they look modern. I think they look quite nice, they sharpen it up a bit, but if you get the DRLs, you cannot have auto lights. So that auto lights is basically like when you get in the car and it detects it's dark and the lights come on. But one of the other features of auto lights is that you get coming home and leaving home lights, which is basically where your lights will stay on and you lock your car, you walk off and your lights will stay on with 30 seconds or whatever you set it to. So you can't have that if you have DRLs. The best I've managed to get is with the Carista app, and what happens is, as you leave your car, if you flick your full beams, your headlights will stay on for 30 seconds, but you've got to manually do that. There's no automatic setting, which is a real downside of having the DRLs, in my opinion, even though they look nice.
So that's it. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Hopefully it's provided you some value if you are looking to get one of these cars. These are sort of 5 real everyday things that you will have to overcome or that might start to annoy you should you buy one of these. Obviously, if you do want a bit of a buyer's guide, I have done a video like that before, so go check out the previous videos on what to look out for if you're buying one of these or an S3 or an RS3, because a lot of the common problems and all that sort of stuff is exactly the same. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you've got any other suggestions that I've missed that you hate about yours, or anything that you think is stupid as well. And make sure to click subscribe. We have just gone past 1,000. We're well on our way to 10,000, and it would be awesome if you could help me achieve that. So from me and the A3, until next time, peace.